I hope everyone is fine. Let's start our discussion of the paper we have written today so that we see our small mistakes we did. Don't be frustrated if you find out that you did not get exactly what we are discussing about now. Please focus on paper 2 now. At least you know exactly what you're gonna be getting, né? Yes. The function of this memo discussion is to make you at least focus how much do you need for the next paper so that you score a distinction. It is M.SAIDI as usual. Let's start without wasting time. All right. Many people are saying that the paper was simple. Yes, it could be. But let's find out how simple was it. Based on our prediction, we found out that 95% of our prediction for paper 1, everything came. And then make sure that you watch the prediction for paper 2 because I've already done it this evening. All right, let's start with the question 1.1. They're saying that which one of the following parts control the amount of light entering the eye? I said this one yesterday, and I showed you how we don't mess it up. All right, here we say that sclera not cornea, not retina, but it is the iris. Remember, I'm not going to explain that much, just so that you are. Remember, the eye looks like that, and then you have that. This space is what we call the pupil, which is the amount of light which is supposed to enter. But what controls is this 2 iris. So D becomes the most correct answer. The function of umbilical vein is to transport yesterday, and they say that the function of umbilical vein. Remember, we said that this is the heart, this is the baby, basically baby. And then this is the mother. Yes, the mother. So the blood vessel which takes blood, we call it vein. Ne? And then the blood vessel which takes blood away from the heart, we call it artery. So automatically, if it's coming from the mother to the baby, then it becomes a vein. But because it is umbilical, therefore becomes umbilical vein. So nutrients are taken to the baby from the mother, because it is the mother supplying the baby, therefore becomes umbilical. The function of the umbilical vein is to transport nutrients. Is transport nutrients from the mother to the fetus. This one becomes the most correct answer. Yes. Then we go to the next question. Got the next question. We will deal with every single question, yes, so that you are not lost. Be patient. We're gonna go slow, but definitely we will reach there. Ne? Yes. All right. We are saying that. Just a moment. Yeah. Because during homeostasis control of blood glucose, we did this question yesterday, and then we say blood glucose, remember, where is here the last statement must be, because now I want from decrease to increase, so I have to increase the amount of glucose in the body. So it means that I need more glucose, therefore I'm gonna convert glycogen into what makes glycogen into glucose is glucagon. Correct answer. And then A, you get the 2. Then we go to 1.1.4. Which one of the following is the correct? Is correct regarding to the homeostatic control of carbon dioxide in the blood. We talked about this yesterday, and then we say that the lungs have. If you look at the lungs, yes, the lungs have receptors. Lungs have receptors, but it does not detect anything regarding to the amount of carbon dioxide in the body. So this one comes out, high level of glucose is stimulated, is the stimulus? No, it's not high level of oxygen, it's high level of carbon dioxide which stimulates. Breathing muscles and effector. Breathing muscles are effectors. Breathing muscle, once the level of carbon dioxide is too much, then you start to breathe too much. So it means that it is the effect when you breathe too much, fast and deep. It shows that it is an effect of high amount of carbon dioxide in the body. That's why if you are running, you have too much carbon dioxide in the body, therefore you have to breathe too much. Therefore the breathing becomes the, yes, this one looks correct. The process is controlled by cerebellum, never, because this is cerebrum, because this is the voluntary action, and breathing is not controlled by will. You will say that I can stop breathing. Yes, you can stop, but what about when you're... Yes, we continue to the next. Then we go to the next question, and then they are saying that the plant hormone that let me check here if there is, okay, there is no disturbance, yeah, perfect, no disturbance. The next question, let's continue the next question. You're saying that, just a moment. Yeah. They're saying that 1.5, the plant hormone that can be used to kill broad-leaf weeds are, we talked about this yesterday, and then we said that the plant hormone which is used, I hope you guys you got it, yes, the plant hormone here is auxin. However, auxin is a growth promoter. If you check our distinction material, let me just show you this one from the distinction material, because and I told you that whatever we highlight, it means a marking point. Yeah, so let me just show you just a small bit of it so that you become satisfied. The plant defense mechanism, not plant defense mechanism, yes, here, and here is, where is it? Plant, yes. Hey, what is the question? Let me check. Oh, the hormone that kills. So it means that we are looking at the, yes, it's supposed to be next here, yes. The control of weeds using plant hormone. Check. Plant growth hormone auxins can be used to selectively kill weeds, but this is selectively kill weeds, but this contain high, okay, here is trying to show you what is happening, and then this is the answer we are looking at. That's why we put it even in highlight. We say that that's the correct answer. So for paper 2, please use the distinction material, yes. All right, let's go to the next question. So that becomes the answer. Then they're saying that the most correct answer, yes. 1.1.6, a girl is looking at the car away from her, is able to focus on the letter. I told you yesterday that when they say that from 2, so you look at what is 2, yes, that's what you are looking at. So now here they're saying that on the letter on the number plate, meaning that you are looking at the small thing. You are from near to a far object, yes. Which one of the following is change occur in her eyes? So meaning that we say that when they ask you that, you explain what is last. That's what I said yesterday. And then I say that, okay, here you have to look at far object. So in this case, we see that, remember, in far object, you have the lens. The lens is supposed to be small. Definitely, the suspensory ligaments, they become taut, and then the ciliary muscles or ciliary body, it becomes, it relaxes. Relax, become taut. The tension on the lens decrease, the lens become less convex. All right, suspensory ligament slacken out because we say become taut. Then they're saying that the ciliary muscle relax. Yes, this one looks correct. The light ray are reflected more. No, because remember it is a far object. And then they are saying that the lens become more convex. It is a far object, it's not any object. Therefore, B becomes the most correct answer. So in such, because this is for far object, for near object, this is for near object, this is a near object. Yeah. Let's continue, guys. Don't lose hope. There are some questions which you're gonna get right, né? Yes, you're gonna get it right. So let's see how much do we have and how much do we have to focus on to get a distinction. Use the prediction so that you score a distinction in paper 2. Yes. Which one of the following characteristic of sperm faster than it to move faster? This is also, we discussed it yesterday. Then we say that now look here, we say that haploid nucleus, how is that related to movement? Presence of enzyme in acrosome, how is it that related to the movement? Absence of the middle piece. If there is no absence of middle piece, then automatically it will be moving slower. So the shape makes it to be moving faster, so that it reduces the resistance. Check. Why is the plane that sharp? Why is the car you are sitting in when you are going to school, when you are coming, or you're driving with your mother and father, something like that? Why is it like that? Yes, all right. It's bad. A person suffering from long-sightedness, we say that yesterday. We say that when we talk about long-sightedness, we mean that a person is able to see objects which are far, but cannot see objects which are near. That's why we say long sight. A small thing, a small lens, the eyeball is too long. It means that you are able to see things which are far, but you can't see objects which are near. So when they come with a big beam, so this lens cannot reflect the light. Therefore, it ends forming the image at the back of the retina. Now we have to look for this in this statement. The eyeball is too long. It's not too long, it's too short. So this is out. The light ray falls behind the retina. You see, it falls behind the retina. This one looks to be correct. The light ray reflected more by the lens. No, that's why it is not able to be brought here. So it's out. The distant object will appear never, because it is long sight. Means that you are able to see objects which are far. Therefore, B becomes the most correct answer. 1.1.9. Let's look at 1.1.9. The graph below shows the results of the investigation done to determine the effect of light intensity on the size of the pupil. The light intensity, look, the light intensity on the size of the pupil. Meaning that if you're talking about the distance, it means the more you are far, the less the amount of light will enter the eye. Alright. Which one of the following statement is a conclusion that can be made from this result? A distant object, as distance from the light source increase, yes, from 1 centimeter to 5 centimeters, yes, you have to, remember I told you that you have to start with the x-axis, because this is the independent variable, and then you talk about, so this cannot control this, it is this which control this. So as the distance from the source of light increase, the size of the pupil also increases. Not the size of pupil as it increases, the distance increases. No, that's the reverse. So as the distance from the light source increases, the size of the pupil also increases, so that it can allow more light entering the eye. So this one looks to be the correct answer, but let's first go and find out what makes the other ones to be more correct or wrong. As the distance from the light source decrease, the size decrease. Looking to the sun, and then you're opening the eyes widely. Never. It can't be like that. Yes. As the size of the pupil, now you are reversing as the size. So this goes out. As the size of pupil decreases, still as the size cannot lead to the distance. It's the distance which leads to the size. Therefore, this is out. So A becomes the most correct answer. The following is a list of events that occur in the female body. Okay, female body. All right, let's see what happens. Puberty, ovulation, development of the corpus luteum, and then oogenesis, and then thickening of the endometrium. Yes, which one of the following is a combination of event that are influenced by luteinizing hormone? So we talked about this yesterday when we were talking about the function of luteinizing hormone, and we say that Don't go the paper without knowing it. So in this case, we have to look at two blades. Why? Because luteinizing hormone has two functions. So if you are talking about 3, 4, then you are wrong. Eh? So now look at what has two blades before you think about anything. Either one blade or two blades. Because it can't be 3, because it can't be 4. So it's either this is out, this is also out. So it's either this or this. What is 3 say? The development of corpus luteum. Yes, development, because it changes the empty Graafian follicle to corpus luteum. So this is correct. So 3 looks to be correct. But now even here is the 3. So now what about 2? Let's confirm with the 2. Ovulation. Remember, luteinizing hormone increases. Once it increases, it triggers ovulation. Therefore, 2, C and D are both correct. But C becomes the most correct answer. You see, that's why I told you that there is the most correct answer. The answer could be correct, but there is one which is the most correct answer. You understand? You know, the following combination of events are influenced by luteinizing hormone. Yes, so C becomes the most correct answer. Yes, guys, who got 10 out of 10, and then so that you get 20 out of 20? And if you got that, let's continue, guys. 20 marks for multiple questions. I never knew. All right, let's continue, guys. Let me just check. Someone saying Jesus is coming back. What's happening? Shape of the head plays a role. Okay, goodbye. Okay, okay, I was just reading through your comments. I see that people are going to make it. You're going to have more doctors, more teachers, more. Okay, let's go to the terminologies. Let's see, look at now. Now, we are talking about content now. These terminologies are meant to be for content. Okay. Reproductive strategy where young receive nutrients through placenta. We talked about this. VV pari. Because they say nutrients through placenta. If you check our distinction material, is stipulated very well. Talked about it yesterday. They are saying that the duct that transmit semen and urine to the, we talked about this, urethra. Yes, the part. We will check and see which part we didn't talk about yesterday when we are doing the prediction. The part of the neuron that consists of the cranial and the spinal nerves. We talked about this yesterday. Oh my God. It is peripheral nervous system. They're saying that the form in which excess glucose is stored in a liver is glycogen. The structure that serves the I saw someone, I saw someone asking me about this. Okay, let me explain it. The structure that serves as the microfilter during pregnancy, we call it, let me show you guys so that you understand it better, because I saw that some people were confused, but we talked about it yesterday in our distinction material. Yes, it's here. Yes, did we talk about it here? Yes. Your things from entering you is exactly the same processes which are being done by the placenta. Alright, so guys, that is it. That's what you're supposed to, and this is the one which they said, which carries oxygenated blood, and you see, this is the other objective we talked about, but I didn't want to come back to the distinction material to show you that. Anyway, just use distinction material for paper 2 so that you don't lose the distinction. At least you still have 2 days. Yes. Then they are saying that the pigment layer in the eye that absorbs excess light. We talked about this yesterday. Choroid. So you talk about here the choroid. Yes, the part of the neuron that plays a role in the speed. We talked about this yesterday still. And then someone tried to give the modified answer. Then I said, no. Myelin sheath is the one which speeds up the impulse. Yes, so here we talk about myelin sheath. They are saying that the part of the male reproductive system which stores sperms temporarily. This is epididymis. Epididymis. I think Mutlope, you got this answer correct because you were singing this, and I told you that I will wait for you when they bring it in the final exam. It was term 1. Yeah, I hope Mutlope you got this correct. If you are here listening, yes, Stembiso, that's what I'm talking about. You call him yourself cracker. Anyway, let's continue to the next question. The process that influence, that produce so I said this is epididymis, okay? Saying that the process, okay, now we are here on here. Guys, I hope you wrote A only, B only, A both A and B or none. You didn't just write A, B, none. Okay, if you just wrote A, B, sorry, I don't know. So depend on now the discussion of the memo if they allow you to give you or not. Yes, but I told you yesterday that it's supposed to be A only. Alright, let's continue without wasting time. The process that produce 4 mature. So don't repeat that in the paper too because you never know. Yes. Alright, the process that produce 4 sperm, 4 mature gametes in human from a single diploid cell. 4 mature gametes. You see that statement? 4. They're saying 4 mature gametes. That's where most people got lost because they talked about production produces gametes. Obviously, it's both A and B people. That's where happy. Unfortunately, no, because they said 4 mature. Therefore, it becomes B only because the mature ovum, it's 1. Let me show you in the book distinction material what I said about this so that you are so sure. Yeah, whatever. Here, there we go. You see? You say that mature ovum. Did they say here mature? No, because these are polar bodies. These are polar bodies. So only 1. So the question was saying 4. You see? 1, 2, 3, 4. You see? To form 4 haploid cell, sperm cells. So basically they are looking for that answer. So the answer is B only. A defense mechanism that protects the plant against herbivores. Against herbivores, guys. Don't say that it's only thorns. No, man, it's both A and B. Let me show you from our distinction material what we wrote here, so that you are so sure. I'll only show you in the distinction material on those things which you think that they are not correct, but they are correct. Yes, that's the only thing I'm gonna show you in the distinction material. You see, here we say that herbivore. This is defense mechanism, and then this is basically okay. Now let's start. The thorns, the reason why thorns are used, number 1, the reason why thorns are used so that these herbivores, they don't eat it. That's number 1, you see. Then number 2, chemical, you see, poisonous, it poisons the herbivores. So the answer is both A and B. So it's both A and B. Yes. The nerve that transmits impulse from the retina to the brain. We talked about this, and even I told you how do you call that doctor responsible for the eyes? That's what I talked about, and I emphasize about it. All right, the answer is because they said from the retina, so the answer is optic nerve. A only. Who got all of them? Who got here 8 plus 6, so making it 14. 14 out of 14. So there are some people who have got them, so we are running to 150 out of 150. All right. Let's continue to the next question. The next question. All right, we go to the next question. What are we saying here? Yeah, the ear. I hope you made it. This one is the tympanic membrane of around the window station tube. You see the things I told you. Don't go the paper without knowing this. Don't go the paper without knowing this. Don't go the paper without knowing. I told you. And then say this is the cochlea, and then this is semicircular canals. Okay, identify what is B. B, we say that it is the semicircular canal. What is E? E, we say that it is the round window. Give the letter and the name of the part filled with air, that is the middle ear. Then you're saying contain organ of Corti, it is C, which is the cochlea. So I think we got it. Remember, they said letter and the name. If you got the letter correct and not the name, we shall give you the letter. You understand? You got the name correct and not the letter, I don't know about it, but you might also give. Okay, saying that give the letter of the part where grommets are inserted. I showed you yesterday. So they are being inserted in the tympanic membrane, which is F. They just letter. Amplify vibration, it is A, which is the oscos. They just want the letter, not even thinking about it. I emphasize this process. I say this is the zygote, mitosis, ball of cell morula, blastula, and then this is implanted. Yes, so it has been implanted. Okay, structure B. What is structure B? B is zygote, and then D, where is D? D is morula. You talk about morula, and then E is a ball of cells, hollow ball of cells, which is blastula or blastocyte. It's fine as long as the spelling is correct. Name the process taking place at A, that is fertilization. The inner wall of the uterus, we say that, remember yesterday I told you that the uterus is divided into three. That is the uterine wall, the uterine cavity, and the endometrium. So the endometrium is the inner wall of the uterus. So process taking place at A, we say that, okay, we say that is fertilization, the inner wall of the uterus where it is implanted. So we say that is endometrium. Yes, so you talk about their endometrium. You talk about what? The endometrium. Just a moment. Okay. As someone saying is surrender. Don't surrender. It's not your time. A soldier, so time to surrender. Yes. Alright. Let's continue. We say that how many chromosomes are normally found in H? What is H? H. Remember, it is a zygote. No. Remember, it is an ovum. Therefore, it becomes, yes. Then they're saying that identify the extra embryonic membrane. We talked about it, and I emphasized about it. We say that it's called chorion. F-O-G, so not F-G, it is chorion. So you talk about chorion. Yes, remember I said that's the outer membrane which forms finger-like projection for implantation. Forms chorionic villi, which forms the outer membrane, chorionic villi, which forms finger-like projection for implantation. There is, I don't know whether it's a boy or girl. I was talking about, I think I lost it, but I was talking about, about this question. That egg is external, is internal, is external, is internal. Okay, some frog species during mating, during sex, the male climbs onto the back of the female. So what happens? And then, so it's a culture whereby a male is on the top of a female, right? Anyway, that's life, man. During this time, the female will release about 6,000 ova. Hey! Imagine you a lady, you are releasing all these kids. Yeah. You give birth to the whole country in 10 years. While the male releases sperms onto them. This mating behavior is called, yes. Someone is gonna tell me, why didn't you read it? Why don't you read it? They might differ the way how you put things on the paper. Yes. So don't panic when I say something which changes the English but the meaning the same. Definitely you'll get a tick. Name the type of fertilization that occurs during reproduction. Obviously, sperms are outside a female's body, so it is external. Yes. Someone is saying yes. Explain why the fertilized egg of the frog do not survive on land. Why are the fertilized eggs of the frog do not survive on land? Basically, they do not have a shield or a shell, a protective layer to prevent desiccation. Okay, let me make it a little bit simple. To prevent dehydration. They don't have a remember, these frogs, they don't have these amniotic eggs, which can survive on the harsh condition. So their membrane is just a simple membrane. Therefore, that's why they are basically found, this reproduction stuff is found in water. You understand? So that they don't dry up. So the moment they go on land, they dry up. So they don't have a protective layer to prevent, or you can say they don't have a shell to prevent dehydration, or you can say to prevent desiccation. Explain how this gentleman increased the chance of fertilization. But they talked about this gentleman. So this Reflex, you're saying that during 1,000 over, while the male release sperm onto them. This mating behavior is called, whereby, it's like the female has to, so one of the, maybe the correct answer could be that it's because of it can release a high number of eggs, you see? Yes. Let me check here. It said explain how this increased the chance of fertilization. First of all, it produces high number of eggs. That's number one. Yes, because if there is high number of eggs, so the chance of fertilization is high. That's number one. Number two, the males release the eggs, the sperms directly onto the eggs. That's why it is on top here. Yes. Someone is reminding me. This time. The male releases the sperms directly onto the eggs. Imagine we are also having the same style. So there is no way how you want to become pregnant, because we release the sperm directly onto the eggs. But now in the vagina, they have to swim, some they die. By the time they reach there, maybe you have 500 million sperms, only millions, maybe 10 millions will survive to reach there. And then even when they reach there, only one is going to fertilize the ovum. Yes. So the sperms are being released directly onto the eggs. So they increase the chance of fertilization. From the information above, explain one other strategy that can contribute to the reproductive success. So now it depends on what you have said here. Reproductive success of the frog species. Yes, so it depends on what used here. Number one, if you used sprinkling the sperms directly to the eggs. If you use the other one, then you can swap, depending on what you used. These questions, they look almost the same. Yes, two or any other, as long as it is correct. When the examiner reads it, it gives you the idea of what you're trying to say and is correct. Yes, so that's why I say that this question, such questions, they strictly too much. It can be adjusted depending on how the student has phrased the answer. All right, looking good so far. Yes, boo, see, tamo, tomo. Yeah, good. Frogs were busy here. Yes, Baba. Frogs were busy, Baba. Hey, who is this? Leah. Hey, frogs were. Frogs, they lost virginity there. All right, let's go to. And after that, the frogs now they bring the zobza here. Oh my God. All right, the diagram below represents the male reproductive system. All right. I explained to you how you're supposed to deal with it, and I showed you very well. Name the part A. The first gland. So it is seminal vesicles. Yes, seminal vesicles. Hormone B. Hormone is, they are not looking for what is this, but they are saying hormone B. Testosterone. Yes, testosterone. Make sure that the spelling is correct. Explain one function of the fluid secreted by prostate gland during reproduction. So seminal vesicles produce alkaline fluid, which neutralizes the acidic nature of the vagina. Alkaline fluid which neutralizes the acidic nature of the vagina. I saw some books talking about something else. I don't know, but I don't think it's correct. This is the perfect one which we are looking at. If it is so, maybe they will look into it and then they credit it. But this is the perfect answer we are supposed to talk about. Produce is common in most common is one of the most common type of cancer among the men. The table below shows the number of men per 100,000 men different age that were diagnosed with prostate cancer in certain country over a period of 14 years. Oh my God. All right. Okay, we see here. All right. According to the table, so you don't give answer beside the table. They say or outside the table. Which age of the man is most likely to develop prostate cancer? Is most likely. So they are looking at the one. So you have to come here and then you check which one has the highest number. Yes. No. This is greater than this, but this is not. So this becomes the most correct answer. So the age they are looking at 70 to 74. They draw the bar graph. Oh, not the bar graph, the histogram. They had spent enough time. Do you hear my statement? Enough time in their several years without bringing a histogram. But it looks like the bar graph. But something is crucial here. It said 64 to 79. 64 to 79. Meaning that you plot only this. Remember I told you I, D, X, Y. So definitely now you know the histogram. This is x-axis. You talk about the age, talk about these ranges here. Then you start to draw the bars. The bars, they must not have spaces. You know, this bar must be equal to this bar. This bar must be equal in width, must be the same. So you draw, you put here number of the prostate cancer per 1,000 men, and then put the caption here. Yeah, so we come here, we say that caption, correct type of there are no spaces, correct type of the graph, we give you a tick, and then we say that plotting, we give you a tick, maybe 2 marks, axis, we give you a tick, x and y, 1, 2, scale, and then the scale we see leave spaces in between. Question 2.3, we are almost killing the paper, né? Guys, who is killing the paper? Where do we get the distinction material? You just check on the link, on the, you say join. When you say join, then you'll be able to see the book. Yes. We are not, yeah, okay. Guys, we go to the next question. Go to the next question. All right. Grace Jamie. Oh, sorry. Okay, now I've got it. All right. The ovarian cyst influence female, and then they are saying the ovary cysts are fluid-filled structure that develop inside the ovaries of some women. The two most common types of cysts in women of reproductive age is follicular cyst and the corpus luteum cyst. Follicular cyst develop when the Graafian follicle fails to rupture. It fails to rupture and releases the follicular cyst to grow, continues to grow because of the continued hormone secretion, right? The corpus luteum cyst develop when the corpus luteum does not degenerate, and even when when you are picking it from the extract. Yes. They are saying that a woman often show no symptom and the cyst disappear, but in rare cases the ovarian cyst keep on increasing in size, and a very large cyst can cause intense pain and may rupture, leading to the internal bleeding. Such cyst will require surgical removal. All right, number 1. Identify from the extract the two structure of the cyst that may develop into cyst. So we say that this causing it to have follicular cyst and the corpus luteum. So we talk about the Graafian follicle and the corpus luteum. Yeah, they talked about it. Follicles develop when the Graafian follicle, yes, Graafian follicle, and then here corpus luteum. So those are the two answers we are talking about. State or give 2 symptoms, not signs, associated with very large cyst. Here, what are you supposed to talk about? Very large cyst. Okay, a very large cyst. Very large cyst. Okay, a very large cyst cause intense pain and may rupture. May rupture. You see, so it is pain, intense pain, and may rupture, rupturing of the what? Rupturing of the corpus luteum, leading to internal bleeding. So it can also lead to internal bleeding, you see. So you can have answers from there. And then they're saying that, so they only want 2 symptoms. Name the hormone that is responsible for growth of Graafian follicle or follicle under the normal conditions. That is follicle stimulating hormone, follicle stimulating hormone, the hormone which stimulates the development of the Graafian follicle. That will be high in concentration in the blood when the follicle cyst develop. That will be high when the follicle cyst develop when the Graafian follicle fails to rupture. When the Graafian follicle is rupturing, we call it ovulation. So when the Graafian follicle ruptures, is ovulation. Which hormone triggers ovulation? That is luteinizing hormone. I don't know why they have brought the same hormone here asking the same question, because they brought it before. So it means that if the person doesn't know this, he doesn't know this, then automatically he has lost 2 questions, 2 answers at the same time. Anyway, I don't know, but it means that now is 2 answers having the same, 2 questions having the same answer. Yeah. They're saying that what will the high concentration of blood, okay, I think we are done with this. Name 2 hormones that will have a high concentration. Yes, we say that it's luteinizing hormone. Give a reason why this, because luteinizing hormone triggers ovulation. Yes, and then this one comes as a result of failure of ovulation to occur. Yes. So it triggers ovulation basically. Explain why women will not be able to fall pregnant if she has corpus luteum cyst that continue non disappearing. Hey guys, it's 5 marks. So basically I told you that this is negative feedback mechanism or homeostatic control of progesterone. So basically if there is the corpus luteum did not generate, it means that it's going to produce high amount of progesterone. You see, it's going to produce high amount of progesterone, and then the level of follicle stimulating hormone will be kept low. Then it means that the level of follicle stimulating hormone, the moment there is high level of progesterone, then it means that there will be low level of follicle stimulating hormone. And then the moment follicle stimulating hormone is low, therefore it means that there will be no new Graafian follicle developed, or no new Graafian follicle developed. I say the blood not ovaries. We say that past will come. It's estrogen. I don't know which question you're talking about. Okay. They're saying that which concentration of blood woman will. That, okay. Someone is saying estrogen. Why is talking about estrogen? Name the hormone that will be high in concentration in the blood of a woman where the follicle cyst, where they're saying that will. I don't know why you have a confusion there. Let me see if I can detect the confusion you're having. Saying, name the hormone that will be high in concentration in the blood of a woman where the follicular cyst develop. Now you come back here and find out, when does the follicular cyst develop? They're saying that the follicular cyst develop when the Graafian follicle, look, when the Graafian follicle fails to rupture. When does the Graafian follicle fails to rupture? Let me show you in the distinction material so that you understand better. Because I told you the distinction material, there is no way they're going to ask you a question and it will never, or it will fail to answer it. So let me show you, because now I see many comments and then people, it seems that they got confused there. Let me use our distinction material so that you see exactly what happens. So this is the mature Graafian follicle. You see? Now, when this fails to rupture, rupturing is this. You understand? Which you call ovulation. You understand? Yes. So when it fails to rupture at this point, which hormone is high? Here, that's what they're asking you. That they're asking you here, name the hormone that will be high in the concentration in the blood of a woman where the follicular cyst develop. You understand? Where the follicular cyst develop. Not what is being produced by that follicular cyst. No. They're saying the level of hormone in the blood. Definitely the brain has to release the hormone, and if you come back here to our distinction material here, you check here and then you see that this is luteinizing hormone. And then at this point where the rupturing takes place, which hormone in the blood is high? So this one will fail to happen. Therefore, this level is luteinizing. This hormone is luteinizing hormone, and then this fails to rupture to do ovulation. So the answer is luteinizing hormone, not estrogen. I hope you have got answer there. But as I told you, that the distinction material book, there is no way how you're gonna get a question and it can't be answered. Can't be answered. And even when you look at this question, I didn't want to show you this question, still you find it here being here. You see, this is what they're looking at. What exactly they are looking at here. So yeah, let's go to the next question. I told that I'll only refer you to the distinction material if there is a challenge you find in the paper, or you don't understand a bit what I'm trying to say, or there is some bit of debate. Okay, obviously A is cerebrum, B is cerebellum, C is spinal cord, D is medulla oblongata, E is the what? The hypophysis or the pituitary gland. We don't mark master gland. No, we don't mark master gland. Let's continue, guys. The next question. Sorry. Okay, someone is still arguing about the hormone. Okay, let me show you again. Okay, I was showing you this. Check, this is estrogen, check the level. It's down, man. It's down. Yeah, it's down. Not this. That's not the estrogen. Estrogen is here, it's going down, you see. Yes, so it can't be the one which is having the high level of concentration. High level of concentration is this. And number two, it's not luteinizing hormone which causes the what? The rupturing not to occur. No. Because and it's not the ovum, the Graafian follicle producing luteinizing hormone. The brain is on which produces luteinizing hormone. Luteinizing hormone starts to be produced some few days before the rupturing. You understand? The rupturing time. So by the time it's time for rupturing, the luteinizing hormone is already there. You cannot open a door when you're too far from it. You have to first come closer to the door so that you can open. How will luteinizing hormone trigger the ovulation, yet the level is not there? So the level must be high so that it can trigger that ovulation. But don't just watch the video concerning about this. I designated for menstrual cycle. Yes. Anyway, let's continue to identify part C. What is part C? What is part C? What is part C? Where is part C? Part C is, we say that is spinal cord. Part D is medulla oblongata. part B is cerebellum, and then part A is the hypophysis. Sometimes we call it pituitary gland, but we don't call it master gland. We don't give it a tick because master gland is not a name, it's just a description of what it does because it controls most of the glands. Yes. Give the letter of the part of that controls voluntary action. Voluntary actions are being controlled by this. They saying the letter. They say the letter name? No. They don't want the name, they just want the letter. Just copy there and then paste. Describe the location of corpus luteum. Here you can describe the way you want it to describe as long as it brings about the idea of this found in the center, which, yes, actually between the left and the right hemisphere. You understand? Remember, the function of corpus luteum is to allow communication and to connect the left and the right hemisphere. So where is it located? In the middle, between the left and the right hemisphere. You understand? Yes. So Elana suffered from brain injury during rugby match. He could still breathe properly, but he experienced occasional loss of memory and balance. Loss of memory and balance. Explain why the learner could still breathe properly. Look, they are saying that occasion loss of memory and balance. What does it mean? What does it mean by memory? It means that it is this part A, which is being damaged. And then what does it mean with the balance? It is cerebellum. So they are saying, explain why the learner could still breathe properly, because this is not controlled by these parts. No, it's controlled by medulla oblongata, meaning that the medulla oblongata was still working properly or fine. Yes. Is it possible for the injury to affect B? Is it possible that the injury affected B? Is it possible? Yes. But why is it 2 marks? Yes. Why? Because sometimes the individual experiences occasional loss of balance. Don't talk about memory, because memory is not controlled by this. Do you think this injury affected B? Yes, it affected B. It could be, because not that sure, but it could be. Why? Because of the balance is being affected. Therefore, the person experiences occasional loss of balance. Then question 2.4. C or C, hearing of the learner could also be affected because of the injury. Yes, hearing could also be. Explain why. Explain. The moment they ask you to explain, you have to tell us exactly. Explain why the hearing could be affected. You come here and then you tell us hearing could be affected because they say that explain why the learner could also be affected because of hearing of the learner could also be affected because of the injury. Explain why the hearing could also be affected. Why? Because hearing is a sensation, and then it shows that cerebrum was affected. Why? How do we know that? Because they say that there is occasion loss of memory. So now this time we talk about experiencing occasion loss of memory. See? Yes. Occasion loss of what? Memory. So the answers were here. This one, the first one, it was talking about breathing because it's breathing properly. Then the next one was talking about occasion loss of balance because it is cerebellum. Then occasion loss of memory, which is cerebellum. So basically, they were just trying to see if you know the functions of the brain. Yeah, question 2.5. Question 2.5. I explained this and I told you not to go to the paper without knowing it. Someone's asking me hearing and memory. It will depend. Maybe they will just mark what is right and leave what is not right. Ne? Yes. All right. Let's go to the next question. What are they saying? They're saying that efficiency and the speed of the knee-jerk reaction is very important for the balance and the movement. The stimulation of the this tendon just below the knee cap causes the contraction and relaxation of cysts and muscles. So there are 4 of them, because if there are 3, try. If there are 2, try. Sharp muscles in the upper leg. The diagram below represents the reflex arc for the knee-jerk reaction containing only 1 synapse. Remember, junction between 2 or more neurons. The arrow indicates the transmission of the impulse. Even if they don't show us arrow, still we can know. How do I know? I told you yesterday that the moment you see the swelling and the synapse here, the swelling and the cell body, automatically that's the sensory neuron. Definitely the neuron moves, the impulse moves like that. What is a reflex action? We defined it yesterday nicely. Say that a rapid automatic response to the stimulus. Rapid automatic response to the stimulus, or you can talk about involuntary. There are so many ways how we can define it, but it must show that it is very fast. Fast automatic response, rapid automatic response, or involuntary. We need to see that what is that you don't control it and is very fast. Yes. So state 1 reason why the synapse is significant. We talked about it. We said that it allows impulse to move in one direction. So you can think about any other significance, but that is the most correct. State what is the importance of the knee-jerk. The importance of the knee-jerk is to withdraw. What did they say? What did they say? That the knee-jerk reaction is very important for the balance and the movement. Efficient, okay, knee-jerk. So based on this, they're saying that it's very important. It's very important for balance and the movement. So that one is simple. Also, now they say that describe the path of the impulse in the reflex arc to bring about the knee-jerk reaction. Basically, as I told you that, okay, that's what they said in the extract. However, they didn't say that from the extract. You see, they didn't say that. Step, yes, say step. So it also helps to withdraw the leg from a painful. So in this case, we have to look at what was the stimulus. You understand? Yes. So this I told you what to do. It was a very simple thing, and I told you how to master this. I told you just say Mr. M, Mr. M, and then Mrs. W, and then you talk about a bow tie. They have bow tie, and then remember bow tie has a button, and then you have 2 samosas on the side, and then you bring the sensory neuron, it enters. That's what I drew yesterday, and then I showed you. And then you have the muscle here, and then you have the sensory neuron here. So now you start to explain this. The impulse moves here. Talk about the neuron. It enters through the ventral root, the dorsal root. Then here you have the ganglion. The ganglion. Then it connects to the synapse, the connector. Then another synapse. Then the motor neuron. All we are talking about the impulse. Then moves out of the ventral root into the effector, which is the muscle. In this case, is the knee-jerk, and then a reaction is done so that balance can be brought and speed. So that's how you're supposed to explain. So they are looking at 5 marks, but it's 5 marks, you can get them all. Yes. It's good to be you. Yeah. All right, we go to the next question, guys. The paper is over. Stop. No. We are preparing for paper 2. Yes, we are preparing for paper 2. Alzheimer's disease. Question 3. The last question. This question is too much of reading. So I may not read everything. So it means that you have to read, but I will just try to extract what is important. State 1, change in the nerve tissue of the brain that can cause Alzheimer's disease. I have to read it now. State 1, change in the nerve tissue of the brain. Nerve tissue of the brain that can cause Alzheimer's disease. So here we are saying that as a result shown on improvement, a high order thinking ability and increased blood flow to the cerebellum. They say nerve tissue of the brain. Automatically, state 1, change in the nerve tissue of the brain that can cause Alzheimer's disease. So the moment, number 1, also saying it here, Alzheimer's disease, this is because it improves the blood flow. So it means that here is the age and historic. Okay, sharp. Here is then you have to reverse this, saying the result showed the improvement of high order thinking ability, even there you can get it, and increase the blood flow to the cerebrum. So this can help you if you reverse it. Saying state 1, change in the nerve tissue of the brain. If they are damaged, basically it leads to damaging of the nerve tissue that can cause Alzheimer's disease. Once the tissue are damaged, then automatically you're gonna have Alzheimer's disease. But also reduced blood flow to cerebrum, which will lead to Alzheimer's disease. Because once you increase the blood flow, then you tend to start forgetting about this Alzheimer's disease. You understand? Yes. But the moment the blood flow reduces to the cerebrum, then automatically the person is going to suffer from Alzheimer's disease. Yes. They're saying that extract stage. So good enough that this, they didn't say that state 1, change in the nerve tissue of the brain that could cause Alzheimer's disease. They didn't say that from the extract. No. So anything outside the extract or in the extract, still it works perfectly. You understand? You can state any other, yes, and then as long as it's correct, then you'll be credited. From the extract, now here they're saying specifically from the extract, name 1 symptom of Alzheimer's disease. So the symptoms here, there are a lot of symptoms here. They say that Alzheimer's disease worsening, saying that the most common symptoms of Alzheimer's disease is worsening ability of remember new information. Understand? So you can talk about it, or you can read if there is any other symptom. State 1 from the extract, state a genetic factor. You come back here. They say that age and family history are the known risk factor of Alzheimer's disease. Age can't be genetical, but family history is genetical because you obtain it from your parents. So the answer here is supposed to be family history here. Yes. Then they are saying that state 2, functions of hippocampus or hippocampus, whatever. 2 functions of hippocampus. Then you come back here and you find out what is hippocampus. This is okay. They are saying that regular exercise may help to reduce the risk of developing Alzheimer's disease because it can improve the blood flow to the brain and helps to maintain the volume of hippocampus. Hippocampus is located deep inside the cerebrum and plays a role or plays a major role in learning ability and orientation. So what is the function? Plays a role in learning ability. See, this is, it improves the learning ability and orientation. So basically that's what they are looking for there. Then they're saying that state 2 functions, okay, we're done. State 2 factors that were considered when selecting. There are so many factors here, maybe they could even reach 7, but they're only looking for 2. So basically I can talk about the factor. You have to look at the age. You can look at the age, you can look at the family history. Yeah, you see, even here they talked about the age. Yeah, you can look at the gender, because they say they used 37 female, so they didn't talk about males here. So you can talk about that. Yeah, so explain ways in which scientists improved reliability. You remember we said that you repeat the experiment and then you increase the sample size. How did they repeat the experiment? In this case, they repeated the experiment. How did they increase the sample size? They used 37 female participants. Yes, 37 female participants between this and this. So they used 37 female participants. And then I saw somewhere where they say that they conducted the investigation 3 times a week for 3 months. You see, even this one, it is to increase the reliability. They conducted the experiment 3 times a week for 3 months. So this is for reliability and this is for reliability. Then we got the next question. Explain why the investigation cannot be concluded that exercise reduce the risk of getting Alzheimer's disease. Cannot. Remember, some of them are basically genetical. How will it reduce the risk of it's genetical? You understand? So you basically is because some of it is as a result of genetical. So basically, what does this exercise do is to reduce the symptoms of Alzheimer's disease. Yes, but you getting it, you might be having already the character from your parents. So it's genetical. So it only prevents the symptoms or early exposure or early showing of these symptoms. So it does not prevent you from getting it, for example, if it is a genetic one. Yes. Then they're saying that explain 3.1.6. They're saying from the extract, explain why it is expected that regular exercise can reduce the risk of the Alzheimer's disease. So basically here, yeah, it's because it can reduce the risk of Alzheimer's disease, because you see the risk, not that it prevents. No, we can't conclude it but that it prevents. It can reduce the risk of because it improves the blood flow. Yeah, so check here. They're saying that it improves. Those are show that it improves the higher thinking ability and increase blood flow. You see, so because if you're able to think, you have ability to think, to remember and process, then automatically you won't be able to suffer from Alzheimer's. Remember, this disease is caused by forgetting. You can't remember, you can't think. So now you doing the exercise, then it will help in these symptoms not appearing. You understand? That's why we are saying that, explaining why it is expected that regular exercise can reduce the risk. It can reduce. It's not a mandatory that it's going to reduce, but they are saying can. However much that's English. Yes, it can. It may not, or sometimes it can. Yes, most especially it's not genetical. Yes, so because it improves improves in higher order thinking ability and increase the blood flow to cerebrum. Yes. Question 3, they're saying that no. Someone saying that didn't want to get less than the 70 expectations. No. Sometimes you see these questions, these questions which are extracts. Sometimes it depends on how you have reasoned them. So these 14 marks only, I think 2 or 3 5 marks I think are the one which you don't have to read too much. You have to get it from the extract. So don't lose that hope. You will make it. And then we have now to focus more on our paper 2. Yes, let's go to question 3.2 so that at least we wind up. We are almost done, man. Almost done. The diagram below shows the location of the adrenal gland in a human. This is adrenal gland. Identify organ X. Organ X is a kidney. Obviously, everyone, I think, kidney. Everyone wrote this, I think. Yes. I think no one wrote a bean. No, you might find someone wrote here bean. I'll call you Mr. Bean. Okay. The system to which the adrenal gland belongs. Adrenal glands belong to endocrine glands. Did I say the system? Endocrine system. Yes. Yes, so we're done with that. Let's continue to the next one. State 2. Name 2 characteristics that of the type of gland that belongs to this system. The system, endocrine gland or system endocrine gland. First of all, it is a ductless. Ductless. You can talk about something else. A ductless gland. Number 2, produce, or let me just say secrete enzymes. Secrete enzymes. Did I say enzymes? No, man. It's not enzyme. Secrete hormones to the blood, which is transported by the blood to the target organs. So we're just explaining what happens to endocrine system. Yeah, that's what they are looking at. Describe now these 5 marks, and these 5 marks. I think so many people were asking about this, and then I designated a full video live for so many hours trying to explain the same thing so that you don't lose it. I hope you didn't lose it. Alright, let me just interpret and then we continue. We might not write that much. Maybe I'll just use the distinction material and then describe the interaction between the adrenal gland and the gland X. Let's go back. X in the maintaining homeostasis and when salt level is low. Remember, I told you that you have salt normal. When you say low, the last point must be increase. The same thing. Then the gland, and then the gland, which hormone does it produce, and then the function of the hormone, then automatically goes back to normal. So this is what I was saying. Let me just do like this. Where are you? Sort, you see here. Yeah, it's just here above. So this is what you are looking at when low. So they wanted you to write this. That's it. Normal level of salt in the blood, the salt. Okay, now the salt level, when it decreases, the adrenal gland will secrete aldosterone. Yes, the aldosterone will make the membrane more of the nephron be permeable to sodium ions, and then reabsorption will take place. So once it takes place, then it increases, the salt level goes back to normal, and then yeah. So you write it, you write the one which has decreased when the salt level increases. No, so basically they want to write it like that. So when the salt level in the blood decreases, the adrenal gland is stimulated to secrete more aldosterone. Aldosterone increases the absorption of sodium ions from the renal tubule in the kidney to the blood vessel, and then the salt in the blood increase and return back to normal. So basically this is what they want, but not exactly like this. Don't say that, no man, I didn't write it like that. No, as long as you wrote in your English, but you talked about this, you talked about this, you talked about this, you talked about this, then the rest is correct, man. Then the second last question on this, they're saying that explain the effect that secretion of the periodic gland will have on organ X when the person is dehydrated. So basically they are looking at ADH because periodic gland, and they are looking at gland X. They're saying for the person experiencing dehydration, it means that there is low water in the blood. So basically you explain osmoregulation. So that's what you're supposed to explain, osmoregulation, when there is lower level of water in the blood. So this is what you explain exactly like that. Lower level of water in the when there is low level of water in the blood, periodic gland secreting more ADH. The permeability of the collecting duct, or this ADH, is gonna cause the permeability of the collecting duct and this circumferential tubule to increase, and then more water is gonna be reabsorbed back into the blood, and then it goes back to normal. So basically that's what you're supposed to explain, this and that. The way how you explain this is fine, as long as you talked about the key points which we are looking at. If you check here, the key points are also indicated in there. Yes, so in this case you explain that. So I hope you got those marks. Then the second last question, yes, the second last question, they're saying that a person, a 12-year-old boy participates in the physical exercise for 45 minutes, followed by 15 rest period. The skin temperature of the boy was measured and the results were recorded. Diagram below represents the skin of the boy before the exercise. Anyway, I talked about this, and I was singing a song for you. Hopefully you guys, you did not let me down. The graph below shows the increase in the temperature over a period of what? By a period of time. They are saying the skin temperature over a period of time, explain. So basically this time they brought it in a different version, but if you check our distinction material, the way how I put those questions, they are basically trying to answer what it is there. Yes, you see this? Yes. See this? Is trying to show you. I explained it yesterday, but I hope you got it right. So P is the sweat gland, and then Q is blood capillaries. The homeostatic mechanism that bring about the change in the temperature. How do you call that? We call it temperature thermoregulation. Bring about the change in the skin temperature, the thermoregulation. We call it thermoregulation. They're saying the part of the brain that is responsible for the mechanism named above. Which part of the brain is responsible for thermoregulation? It is the hypothalamus. Yes, so we know that. Then they're saying that identify from the diagram, identify the parts. So we say that P is the sweat gland, while Q is the blood capillaries. Calculate the percentage decrease. We talked about this. We say that percentage decrease is equal to final minus initial over initial, not over final, times 100. Talked about this very well. I hope you have done it. You have not disappointed me. So we are saying that in this case you have final minus initial, over initial. So it's gonna be 35.4 minus 37.4 over 37.4 times 100. However, the answer you're gonna get is gonna be a negative, which shows is percentage decrease. Yes, hope you got a negative answer. And some people, they got a negative answer and then they crossed it. They say but see, even if you swap it, it's gonna be the same figure, but now it's gonna be percentage increase, won't be percentage decrease. Explain the role of P and Q in the change in the skin temperature before the exercise. So basically P, what you need to talk about P, what does it work? How does it work? It becomes, P is a sweat gland. So the sweat gland becomes more active and then more producing more sweat. This leads to evaporation of the sweat, leads to the cooling of the body. So basically you just explain the thermal regulation of but only a specific point. And I told you when I was explaining this that you need to take note of this, because so they are talking about the sweat gland. So more blood is gonna be sent to the sweat gland becomes more active, and then the more sweat is released. Evaporation of the sweat leads to the cooling of the skin. So basically that one only wanted that, while the other one is saying that Q is blood vessel. So automatically blood vessel, you have to explain it that impulse will be sent to the blood vessel. Okay, the blood vessel become dilated, and then this is called vasodilation. More blood will flow to the skin and more heat is lost from the skin. So basically that's what they wanted. And to get your marks, those 6 marks, at least they want 3 points, and the 3 points are already highlighted in there. You see, they highlighted in there, more than 3, and then you get the marks. And I hope you guys, you made it, you made it. Okay, then they're saying that now we go to the next question. The last question, they're saying that, what are they saying? Someone is asking me, sir, that's not math. Nothing worse than seeing the answer that you scratched. Oh my god, I knew that. Oh my god, many people try to scratch that. There's nothing we can do, but that's how we calculate the percentage increase and percentage decrease. Please guys, you need to be sure. There's someone is asking me that there is no such as a negative percentage. That's why decrease means what? Decrease means percentage. Decrease means decrease. I want to say there's no such. I didn't calculate. You have to calculate here, and you see. If you find it's a negative, then that's the answer, because it is a decrease. A negative slope. Negative slope. What does it mean? Do you get is final minus initial? Yes. Do you get a positive answer? No, you get a negative answer. And then a positive slope. Check the slope. Even here it shows you. This is a negative slope. When those people who are doing physical science or who are doing pure maths, I don't know mathlit, but I think positive slope is increasing automatically, final minus initial. You see? So it means that the answer is gonna here on this one is gonna percentage increase, while percentage decrease is supposed to be negative. So yeah, it's supposed to be like that, my friends. But let's focus now more on paper 2. I know that we're gonna make it, and those marks, which please don't rush. I told you, don't make the examiner to be fools. What does it mean? It means that you finish the paper in 10 minutes, and then in the paper is 2.5 hours. And then you want to sleep, and they won't allow you to go out. so you become bored. Oh man, please write. After writing, go through the paper. I know that it's boring to go through what you have written, and sometimes people even scratch. But if you're not so sure about the answer, don't scratch it, because in most cases 95% of the people I've seen, they scratch the correct answer and they put the wrong one. Yes, that's the most cases. So if you're not so sure about the answer, you are scratching, you have just forgotten, or you just wrote it somewhere, please don't scratch it, because in most cases this so-called Satan will tell you, ah man, just scratch it, and then you start being irritated, you scratch. After scratching, you feel good, can't is there, busy laughing at you. Anyway, let's continue, guys. An investigation was done to determine the effect of auxins. So basically his auxins, so I'm not going to read too much, but I know that we did this experiment very well, and we try to master it, né? Yes. Anyway, let's start. They're saying that the result show the table, okay? Saying identify the independent variable. This is easy to find here, or you can come here. The first statement, I always tell people that you got the first statement. An investigation was done to determine the effect of auxin on. So now you see independent variable, effect of auxin, and then the dependent variable on. You see the growth of lateral branches. Branches. Yes. So the lateral branches, these branches becomes the dependent variable, while the growth the effect of auxin is the independent variable. Yes. Some people, they wrote the type of the plant, hopefully, but I'm not so sure about it, so it depends on the discussion they will do. All right, and explain why the plants were exposed to the same environmental conditions. Why did we expose the plant to the same environmental condition? Yeah, remember, the moment they talk about environmental condition, the same, is to talk about the validity. Talk about what? The validity. So to ensure validity, that the results we obtain are valid. You understand? Imagine some people, they write with the books open, and others they write without books. Don't you see that it won't be valid? The other one won't be valid. Why? Because you are not exposed to the same environmental condition. So everyone must be monitored, everything, so that you write in the same standard environment, so that we know that, okay, the results you get are valid. Explain why agar without auxin was used in C. Agar without auxin, remember, agar is a substance which helps in diffusing those other substances, so that, yes, it's like a sponge, né? Yes. And see, why was it used? Agar without what? So it can act as a control experiment, or to see the effect of because this one agar without auxins and agar with auxin, to see the effect of auxins in D. You understand? Or you can compare the results in here and the results in here. So it means that whatever happened here, increase in the lateral branches, was as a result of auxins, because this is agar without auxin and agar with auxin. Automatically, what happens here, it will be as a result of auxins, because they are the same plant, the same environmental conditions, but now the results show that this one is more than this. You understand? Yes. So basically, is to compare the results, or to create a reference point, or so you can explain it any way you think is right. Explain why agar without auxin is used in C. Yes. So we go to the next question. Explain why agar without oxygen. So we have done that. Then the next question, they're saying explain why the plant were exposed to environment. So we answered that. And then lastly, they are saying that state the conclusion for this investigation. So investigation, look guys here, there is something which I see here. You see this A, there is increase but not that much, and then B, there's too much increase, and then C, there is too much increase, and then D, there's small increase. So let's look at A and D. The agar, the auxins were there. This had auxin, and then D also had auxins at the tip. So the lateral branches do not grow that much. You see, while this B and C, because they said without auxin, they didn't